had to come back to Home Depot because for some reason I thought I had got all my boards in this way, and so I needed 2 more of the 2x6s and 1 more of the 2x2s. So just getting that really quickly, and then I'm gonna head on out so I can start my DIY. That was easy. Now we gotta try to figure out the hard part, putting it into the SUV. Shalom Peeps, and welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for being here today. So in today's video, I am bringing you a DIY, and this DIY is inspired by Anna White's Farmhouse coffee table. So as you could see from the title, I will be doing my own coffee table in today's video. So I'm just cutting some wood and preparing all of the wood that is needed for the project. So at this point, I'm basically just beginning to work on the legs of the table. So I'm attaching the 2x6s and the 2x4s together, and you'll see exactly what I'm doing in this part. In Anna White's tutorial, she tells you to use glue, but I forgot to do that part, so I won't be using any glue in this project. Y'all probably are noticing that I'm really struggling trying to get these screws into the wood, but just keep in mind that this is my very first big project or biggest DIY project that I've done. So it was really difficult trying to get those screws in, but once I got the hang of it, it was like super easy using those tapping screws. And you'll see all of the supplies and everything listed in the link that I attach below in the description box. So right here, I actually had to unscrew one of the screws, and now I'm screwing it back in because I realized on that last clip that the foundation was a little wobbly once I put it down, and so I didn't want that to be the case when I got ready to put the base of the table together. So you may have that problem where you may have to unscrew some screws just to make sure that everything is nicely lined up. All right, now we are finished with the legs. So now on to step 2, where we are going to put the bottom base together. So on this part, all I'm doing is attaching those 2x2s that were cut out, and I'm placing them in the grooves, those open spaces at the bottom. And so I'm going to do the ones at the bottom first, and then I'm going to turn the table over and do the ones that are at the top. All right, so moving on to step 3. So on this particular part, I'm just taking one of those 2x6 boards that's cut at 18 inches, and I'm starting the bottom shelf. So this piece that I'm putting in the middle is going to be the middle piece, and then I'm going to add the rest of the shelves next to that. So fun fact, if you know my husband, you already know that he is an artist and he loves to work with wood. He taught himself how to work with wood a few years ago, and he just loves doing anything that deals with creativity. And so if you know me, you already know I am also very creative. I'm not an artist, but I love to be creative. And so I recently had the desire to want to work with wood as well. Anything that I can do to help my husband or be a help to my husband, I'm willing to do it. So I wanted to start working with wood and doing these DIY projects now that I'm out for the summer. And I feel like it's going to be a great way for me to learn how to learn the craft, and so that when we do move on to our own homestead, we'll be able to build a lot of different projects together. So I'm really excited about that. All right, moving on to the tabletop, I just placed another 2x6 board that is measured at the 18 inches in the middle of the table, so that way the tabletop can just be screwed into that top part. And I'll advise us to put the boards down and then put the table base on top of the boards and start screwing it in. But I wanted to see what it would be like just going from underneath the table and screwing it in, and that was actually a bad idea because my screws weren't going in all the way. So I just did what she told us to do, and I ended up flipping the table over. By that time I had already had like 3 of the boards in, so I only needed 1 more board to be put in place. Because I don't have a wood bench or anything to work on, I had to do it on the floor, and I really just did not want to have to flip everything over, but it just worked out so much easier. So take her advice, flip it over if you can, and then just put the base on top and screw it in.
Wanna be ready for the summer, I just wanna be ready for the summer, I just wanna be ready for the summer, 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 summer. I just wanna be ready for the summer, I just wanna be ready for the summer, I just wanna be ready for the summer, 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 summer.
And voila, the table is now complete. I used this wood stain and it looks absolutely beautiful. I cannot believe I did this all by myself. My husband was even proud. He gave me praise, which is very rare. And this basically just lit a fire up underneath me to want to create some more. So if you like today's video, go ahead and hit that like button down below, and then give me a comment and tell me what you guys think. And until next time, I will talk to you all later.